All right, guys, so here's how to build your social circle of attractive women and high status men. So for this one, we're gonna talk about attraction perks that you guys can start building and cultivating. We're gonna talk about using women as social currency. Sorry, girls, but it is what it is. We're gonna talk about how you can get yourself a social connector and what that is. We're gonna talk about how to get yourself a value connector and what that is. We're gonna talk about how you can throw your own container events. Got you. And we're going to talk about creating your very own entourage of women and even high status men, as well as befriending. The exact techniques I've used to befriend high status guys. I'm talking 7-figure and 8-figure entrepreneurs, guys who are semi-famous within their own circles. Exactly how I did, I'm going to break it all down for you. And just give you best practices in general when it comes to social circle. So let's go right into it. All right, what are the attraction perks of having a social circle? Number one is just mere exposure. When your guys are doing cold approach, it's like the Eminem song. It's like, I got one shot, do not miss my chance to blow. This opportunity comes with, like, you gotta go in and wow them. When it's social circle, you can chill the fuck out. You're gonna see her again. You see them again and again, like the girls in the office or at your favorite volleyball group or whatever the fuck. You get to see them again and again, so it's slow burn. You don't have to shoot your shot in one go. It gives you that mere exposure effect, which in psychology always builds more and more rapport. You're more trustworthy, relatable. It's just easier. It's just tremendously easier through social circle than it will be through a random cold approach. The other perk you get with social circle is pre-selection. Robert Thorndike did a very interesting test with pre-selection. He showed an image of a man to 100 women and he goes, rate this man on a scale of 1 to 10. How attractive? And the women said he's a 6. Then he blew out the image, he expanded the image a little bit more and showed that there was a girl smiling, looking directly at him, smiling. And he showed this image to another 100 women. He goes, rank this man on attractiveness. And out of the 100 women, the average rank was an 8. Same man, same picture. The only variable difference was they saw a woman smiling favorably at him. Women have very specific selection mechanisms going on inside them. They can't get to know every single guy, so they have to quickly decipher which men are worth getting to know and which ones aren't, based more than just on looks. Men, we're very simple and stupid. We're like, boobs, let's go, right? Women, they're a little bit more complicated, but they make it simplify for themselves by going, look, if all those women are into him, then clearly he's got something going on. He might be a guy worth getting to know and talking to, because why else would these other girls be around him, right? So pre-selection is amazing when you have it in your social circle, when she sees that you have options, she sees these other girls wanting you. By the way, big distinction, pre-selection means women want you. A man whore is when she sees you want a lot of women and you're chasing a lot of women. Man whore, not attractive. Pre-selection, very attractive. Guys mess this up all the time. They're like, they'll be like, I'm talking to these girls. Look, she sees me talking to these girls. Ew, you're a fucking man whore. Social circle means women are around you all the time and she knows that you have options because these women are liking you. You don't even want them in some of the cases. Also, when it comes to social circle, you get built-in trust, built-in comfort. A lot of that you got to figure out how to do very quickly and early in a cold approach because she doesn't know who you are. You're a stranger. You got to quickly counterbalance that frame of being a stranger. When you're in a social circle, it's easy. She knows you're a good guy. She knows you can trust her. You can just work on the higher level stuff, playful, flirting, all the other shit. The social circle, trust and comfort is just kind of built in. Also, you get time. Cold approach, hey, look at the time, I gotta go. Oh, my friends wanna leave, I'm sorry, you don't have time, damn it. Oh, I could've. In social circle, you have all the time in the world. She's not going anywhere. The only thing you could possibly worry about is if she starts dating some other guy. And then you're out of time. But I will take that over a few seconds, minutes, at the very best hours you get a cold approach. Social circle, you get days of time with her to have her change her perception of you, to build attractive frames. So there are so many built-in perks with social circle, it is ridiculous. I'll tell you right now, with social circle, the biggest perk, the quality of women. The Cold approach, you will get the best level of skill. By mastering cold approach, you will learn every skill to the highest level. Online dating, easiest way to get dates. By far the easiest way to get a date. Social circle though, is how you get the top, highest quality girls on earth. When you ask the top Instagram influencers and models and blah, 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 go, how did you meet your guy? Like 97% of them say, I was introduced to him or met him through some female friend of mine. All right? That is their comfort zone. It is how they find them. It's online dating or social circle, but usually if you're really gonna get them, they have to be in your social circle first at some way, shape, or form. When you're building your social circle, you have to understand, maybe this is not politically correct, but it is what it is. You have to understand that women are social currency. They just are. When you have women around you, it's like having money. You get free meals, you get to go on yachts, you get free tables at the club, you get free trips places, you get free access to places. It's currency. It is money. By befriending gorgeous and attractive women, business opportunities open to you, life opportunities open to you, friendships you can never have before open to you. So you may as well, if you're gonna get into a friend zone with a girl, embrace the shit out of it and get in her friend zone, play the long game. But not like, oh, I'm gonna be your friend and like be some beta cut guy who's just trying to hit on you as your friend, but be your shoulder cry on. No, I mean just like treat her like your sister. Don't get into the friend zone. How about this? Forget friend zone, get into the sister zone. She's your sister now. You're not trying to get with her, stop trying, it doesn't matter, but you now have social currency. Things are going to open up to you. And again, what do I mean by social currency? By befriending women, attractive women, I have unlimited access to yachts, the tables at nightclubs, free dinners, exclusive events, you name it. All of this have been opened up to me because I'm able to befriend incredibly attractive women. It is an incredibly valuable skill to have that most men are too short-sighted to understand and see. They try to sleep with anything and everything, and they don't take the time to cultivate an actual social circle. One of the biggest lessons I can explain to you when it comes to building a social circle is stop trying to sleep with every single girl you meet. In fact, I would argue that if you really want to meet your dream girl, and if you really, attract your dream girl, find 5 women that are incredibly attractive that you would want to sleep with, that you would even want to date. Find 5 of them and befriend them. And I know it sucks. You're like, oh, but I want her. No, you don't. You don't want her specifically. You want a girl like her. Befriend these girls until you have 5 of them. At least 3 to 5 of them. Because then they will help you attract the right one. And you will understand this kind of girl at a level you can never understand by reading books or even watching, videos like this one, or by going out to the nightclub. Nothing is going to prepare you for understanding women, like actually befriending, not just any woman, but the high quality ones. Nothing is gonna prepare you for understanding them on the deepest, highest level than just befriending them and having them in your life day in and day out. It is the biggest cheat code you can possibly give yourself. So how do we do it? How do we start befriending all these women? Well, the first step is you want a social connector. A social connector is someone who knows a shit ton of people that they can introduce you to. With a good social connector, you will just start meeting anyone and everyone, ideally someone who can connect you with the kind of girls that you want to meet, aka high quality women. The easiest one that I found is a promoter. I make the promoter my boy. All the gorgeous women, when I was in Vegas, I befriend the promoters. San Diego, I lived there, I befriend the promoters, the table VIP host. When you befriend them, guess what they know? Their whole job is to know a shit ton of people and ideally attractive women. That's what makes them good at their job. So when I became friends with them, my world exploded with attractive women. In fact, this weekend, I'm having an immersion, a boot camp where the students are living with me, and I'm calling my old promoter friend, and he's gonna fill it up with attractive, beautiful women. He's a great friend to have. He's an amazing social connector. In grad school, when I couldn't get into clubs, and I couldn't use, club life, whatever, I befriended this guy, Niv, who was in a fraternity. Fraternity guys, sorority girls, and just know other fraternity guys. All of a sudden, Greek life was I was not in a fraternity, but it opened up to me. I befriended this one guy who knew everyone. Wherever we went, he introduced me, and I got to know everybody through my buddy Niv. You go to networking events, let's say you're the entrepreneur, find one business leader, one guy who runs masterminds, runs groups, and in this case, it's my boy Joel Kaplan. He's an inspiration to me, a mentor of mine, a good friend of mine, but you befriend him, he's an amazing social connector. All these business guys, and yes, with the guys, women as well, it doesn't really matter. Between the guys in fraternities, and these are just examples, it doesn't have to be one of these. The only criteria a social connector needs to have is that they know a shit ton of people. Another final one could be some kind of group leader. Maybe this guy does volleyballs every Sunday, or they do some kind of a group-led activity, and they're the leader of it. So examples of group activities you can start getting into could be dancing classes, dancing with salsa, merengue, whatever you're into. Improv class, this is improved, but whatever. Improv classes could be also really good. And who runs these events? Who runs these groups? Whatever you're into. Volleyball, we said, so this is an example of people who get together. See one of our cold approach coaches there, Albert. This is volleyball. They get together every Sunday and do volleyball together, go to the beach. Boom. If you know one of these people, they can connect you to the others. That's a social connector. So kickball leagues are really great for this too, built-in social circles, volleyball leagues. If you are someone who has nowhere to start, you can't befriend a promoter, fraternity guy if you're young, business leader if you're old, you're entrepreneurial. If you have nowhere to start, this is where you start. Go to classes. Go to one of these kind of things, all right? Dancing class, improv, anything with a commonality, not meetup.com or Meetup. It's just a sea of social rejects. It's not going to be the right type of people. But a great one is the kickball league. That's an amazing one that everybody's drinking, having fun, not taking it too seriously. Beautiful. So you got your social connector. You're meeting a lot of people. So you now have a circle, but we're still missing something. We want this to be a high status circle. We don't want it just to know a bunch of whatever people. So for that, you need a value connector. All right? Here's me with my boy who's a DJ. That's why I'm at the DJ booth, because I'm literally friends with the DJ. Now, this DJ doesn't know a lot of people, right? Maybe he does, but let's assume all he does is DJ. It's just fucking whatever. He doesn't know a lot of people like a social connector, but are you gonna tell me being able to get the DJ booth at the hottest nightclub is not valuable? Fuck yeah, it is. He is a value connector now. So, a value connector, maybe they have access, basically a value connector has access to resources that you want, AKA money, moolah, some kind of good resource. So a value connector, maybe they have a mansion that you can throw parties at. Maybe the value connector owns a yacht. Doesn't know a lot of people, but he has a yacht that you can use and take out. Maybe he's always buying tables, or maybe he's the DJ and he has his own table reserved just for him, right? He doesn't know people, but he has access to valuable resource. Maybe he has access point. He's the bouncer to Coachella or something, something that's super useful to get into, and he can get you and your friends in. He has access to an access point, right? These are examples of a value connector. You want to befriend as many of these guys as possible. First priority is always a social connector. Once you have the social connector, now you want to go out and you want to try to find your value connectors, because they're going to make your social circle that you've developed valuable. Beach volleyball, social, cool, great connections, but there's no value points to it. All of a sudden, you meet Steve-O, or Stevie, who owns a yacht, and you tell the girls at your volleyball event to go, hey, my buddy's got a yacht, you guys want to come? Now you have your social connector who introduced you to all these people at volleyball, but now you've got this value connector that you can funnel them to make a high status social circle. Does that make sense? Okay. So, eventually, you've made friends with social connectors, you've made friends with new value connectors. Now you want to start doing your own thing. Because up until now, which is fine by the way, going to other people's events, the guys beach volleyball, the acro yoga, you're going to hanging out with your buddy on his yacht, their shit. At some point, you want to make it your shit. Because when it's your thing, now you are at the center of the social circle. You are the one connecting people. At the end of the day, you're gonna start being a social dead end. And some people are social dead ends, and nothing wrong with them. They're probably really great people. I'm not racist against social dead ends, but they're not adding anything to your circle. So you want to find a social connector, you want to find value connectors, and then you want to be the social connector. You want to be the value connector. You just need, like, I know Drew, who's got the table. I know Tim, who's got the yacht. I know Bobby, who's the bouncer at the coolest event that I can get into. And I know George, who's got the great mansion. Let me introduce these guys together and do cool events with all these people. The fact that you can bring them together, you're a value connector because you have access to those resources and can bring people to them. The fact that you know Michelle and Roger, who all know a million people, and you've met a million people through Michelle, you've met a million people through Roger, they're social connectors. The fact that now you know all these people, congratulations, you are now a social connector. You combine them together, you become this ultimate connector. Once you are this ultimate connector, you want to start having your own events that you bring people to, so that now they are all meeting each other through you, so you are at the heart of the social circle. It starts with going to other people's events, but eventually you should start doing your own events because that's when people are like, this guy's the man. You're the head of the totem pole. Every social circle has like totem poles. There's like the leaders of the circles of the circle and the people near the bottom, and you can just tell who it is by who people react to the most. It's okay, by the way, if you're not like the top of a certain circle's totem pole. It's not it's fine. You're not going to be at the top at every single one, and if you try to act like you are, that's the easiest way to get booted out of the circle entirely. But ideally, you should try to raise yourself through it slowly and surely, but ultimately you should get people gathering to your things so that you are naturally at the top of your circle because you're the one making the introductions. Hope that makes sense. So, how to have these container events. I just talked about joining others people and being the middleman, being the introductions. But eventually, yes, you want to throw your own. So, you throw your own by creating your entourage, your people, your guys, your girls. So this was actually, funny enough, this picture was taken on 2020, my birthday. This was my birthday party in 2020, lockdown COVID. Me and my buddy Brandon, we flew to San Diego, and I haven't lived there for a year, but even after a year, I had all these people come out just to celebrate my birthday in private, some because again, lockdowns were in effect, but we still got 1 million people to come out. Half of them I've never even met. Half of them were just there and they just knew me through a friend of a friend. I'm like, they knew me, I had no idea who they are. When you build this up big enough and you build up your social circle like crazy, you will become, it'll go from social circle to local celebrity. When you really build this to a high level and you're constantly meeting people, just through this friend, through this friend, through this friend, and they're coming to your events, coming to your events, what happens is all of a sudden people start recognizing you and knowing who you are, and you have no fucking idea who they are. Hell, this happened to me just this weekend. I went to the Renaissance Festival with my girlfriend and some friends, and not once, but twice, someone saw me and goes, Jared, hi, Jared. I'm like, oh my God, hi. I have no fucking idea who this is. It's just natural. It's just a thing that starts happening as you raise, and I'm not even going out that much these days anymore. I'm not even doing crazy shit, but when you build up your social circle big enough and you just meet people gradually, so people are going to recognize you and know who you are, and you're just not going to know who these people are. You're going to be like, I'm sure I've met you, but no idea who you are, okay? You want to get to that state. That's how you know you've made it, social circle, is when you become a local celebrity. People know you, but you don't know them. So, ideally you want to create your entourage. This is a big mistake I used to use back in the day. Now I've learned. Use group chats, not one-on-one messages. Because it's not about you building one-on-one friendships, it's about you dominating a group. So Facebook groups or Facebook messages or a text message thread. Hell, me and my favorite girls, I put in to a group chat literally called Entourage. It's like me and my top 5, 6 female friends. We call ourselves the Entourage group. You could do that, but you want a group text. WhatsApp is another good one. You could just have a name for it. Brian has ball slappers for playing volleyball, whatever. And now everybody's in that group. It solidifies the group. It also, instead of pinging everyone one-on-one and doing a copy-paste message that they're like, bro, I know how many people you're saying that to. You send one message to the group and it unifies the group. People rather have group text messages, group threads, because it allows them to become friends with each other. You want a real friend group versus you know a lot of different people and are messaging with a lot of different people, but they don't know who the fuck they are. Also, you want weekly events. At the very least, bi-weekly. Anything more than bi-weekly, it's not a consistent thing, and it's easily forgotten about. When you have weekly events, again, at the very least, bi-weekly events, it is a staple, it is something that is yours and that people can expect and look forward to, and you can get it bigger and bigger and better and better. You want your container events ideally to be once a week, at the worst, every other week. And ideally, your events need to have some kind of value prop, all right? It can't be like, we're gonna go for walks on the beach. Who's down to go walks? I don't know, here's my container event. We are going to do a book club and we're gonna read and you could, I guess, but for a high quality social circle, you wanna have some kind of value proposition, something that's very valuable and a reason for them to wanna come out and join. Again, it can be the douchey status stuff, the yachts, the tables, but it doesn't have to be. It can be other stuff that is very interesting. Volleyball, kickball, if you're into like the more athletic type of stuff. It could also be, I had one student make it acro yoga, which I thought was brilliant. It could, something that they would like to do, or your type of girl would like to do. There needs to be a value prop to your container event. And you have to befriend the women to each other. This was a big mistake I made for a very long time. I would befriend every girl, but I wouldn't take the necessary steps to get them to become friends with each other. So they'd come out to my event, but they'd only know me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the cool guy. No one else knows each other. But it'd get harder and harder to get them to come out because they're like, who do I know there? I know Jared, but who else do I know? Take the time to really solidify them as a friend, and that's, again, why we want to use group threads, Facebook groups, WhatsApp, group text messages. We want to solidify befriending the women to each other. I even had a rule to join my entourage group thread, where only like 6 girls made it. I had 3 rules, or 3 criterias. I told every girl this, and Anna can testify to this. I told her back in the day when she first joined, look, to be part of this entourage, number 1, you have to be attractive. Sorry, it is what it is. You have to be hot. Number 2 is you have to be drama-free, all right? No going crazy and blah, 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 and all that kind of shit. Like, no making a big fuss of everything. I need drama-free. And number 3, you have to be fun. You can't be like, I'm so cool, look at me, and I'm going to sit over here and do nothing. Like, no, if you're going to be part of the entourage, you have to bring the party. You have to be the party, all right? That's it. As long as you hit these 3 criterias, congratulations, you can join my entourage group. And like, I would turn girls down. Like, and I guess 4 is whoever's in the entourage has to approve of you as well. So like, when we had 4 girls, the 5th girl, I'm like, listen, I want to add you to this entourage group. So I'm going to introduce you to Anna. You got to get Anna to like you, as well as, this other girl, Diana or Keely. Like, if they don't like you, then you're like, I'm not going to add you to this group. So I guess that was the 4th criteria. Like, the rest of the group had to decide and vote like, all right, we want her in the entourage. You make it exclusive. You make it this like cool thing that like, you got to work to be a part of it, especially as a girl. Like, sorry, if other girls into it. So maybe the first 2, just bring them in, 3 criteria. And then the 3rd one, these other 2 have to like you. Get them to befriend each other. So there's no drama. Oh yeah, my criteria. So number 1 is hot. Number 2 is they're fun. 3 is no drama. This is the criteria to be part of any entourage of girls that you want to have. Now, here's how to befriend the high status guys. This is my buddy Joel. I talked about him, one of my business mentors. This is a guy who makes $1 million a month. All right, he's a 8-figure entrepreneur. I could call him up whenever I want, shoot the shit with him, talk with him, see him. But it didn't start that way. It started with me as one of his students, all right? And again, I've done this with my mentors who helped me with the dating stuff when I was trying to figure out how to talk to girls. I use the same techniques with Joel as I did with my dating mentor, all the same shit, okay? I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it. Feel free to use it on me. What works, works, okay? It all works. So number one, when I would talk to them, that wasn't on their event or wasn't their thing, I would talk on their interest, not on their authority. All right? Their interest, not their authority. So what it means is my mentor Adam was interested in like dorky things like me, Magic the Gathering, Marvel shit, but his authority was he's the dating coach. All right? Joel, interested in my stuff, interested in relationships, basketball and sports, which I can talk on. I can talk about basketball, that's the only sport. But his authority is marketing and business development. What most people do when they're around a high status guy, they talk on their authority. You meet Gary Vee, what are you gonna talk about? Marketing, Gary Vee, how do I grow my business? Gary Vee, how do I do blah, 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 right? Instead, you should talk about their interest. Gary Vee, so what would be your changes to the Jets if you owned the Jets? Talk football to me. Talk, whatever I read somewhere that you're really into sushi. What's the best sushi restaurant in the city? What? There's this cool thing I learned about ad strategy I can teach you. No, don't worry about that, Gary. Don't worry about that. Tell me about the sushi. Where's the best omakase? It's like, oh, okay, fuck yeah. Okay, well, like now they get excited because no one does that. Everyone wants to talk about what they are the man. Joel is the man when it comes to marketing. So of course, everyone's gonna be talking to him about marketing. If it was me, let's say, everybody's gonna talk to me like, Jared, what's the best opener? What's the best text message? What do I say to this girl, da-da-da? Because that's talking on my authority versus talking about the interest. Does that make sense now? Second thing, you're gonna act as their equal. I know when I first met Joel, I was making maybe like $5,000 a month. This guy's making $1 million a month. We're equals. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk to him as an equal. A lot of guys will fanboy. In fact, the first time I started hanging out with him, I remember a guy ran up to Joel and be like, get out of the way, you like push me aside, like, Joel, here, can we take a selfie? And Joel's like, yeah, man, do selfie. All right, cool. And I'm like, all right, awesome. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Like I would just play it off of it. These guys get treated as celebrities a lot, and there's certain certain subtle gestures that we do, with the rapport-seeking mannerisms, our body language, how we just treat these guys. And you have to treat them like an equal, so subconsciously, they see you in that same way. You're not fanboying, you're not treating them like a dick, you're not like trying to outdo them, you're not like being like, I'm better than you. It's literally like, yeah, we're both equals, like you're my boy, I'm your boy, like you've gotta come from the same energy, whatever you want to call it. The third thing I always did was you always want to give value to an insane degree. You're never take. These guys of high status are always used to guys sucking their value. Give me more, give me more, give me more. Gimme, gimme, gimme. You've got this value, gimme. You got the yacht, let me get on the yacht. You got the knowledge, give me the knowledge. You got this, give me this. Because they're high status means they're high value, which means every guy's trying to take value from them. It is a breath of fresh air. It is amazing to them when someone comes along and is giving them value. It doesn't make sense. With my dating mentor, again, I was broke at the time, but I had a few shekels. So when I went to his boot camp, I made sure to come with a sushi tray. I'm like, here's a whole thing of sushi. I thought it'd be cool if everybody, could eat, maybe snack on this whole like $60-something appetizer of sushi, whatever. And he's like, dude, that was so thoughtful. Like, thank you. Yeah, you're making my event better. You're awesome, all right? With Joe, I would try to make his event better by getting his students girls. I'm like, look, don't coach me. Don't worry I'm not here to learn any business stuff. I'm here to help you. Look, you want some girls at this event? I got you. I'm gonna go to town for you. I'm gonna introduce girls to these guys and make sure this event is awesome for you, bro.
Yeah, I left my bottle of whiskey in my other pants, man. Sorry.
Whatever the case. I actually had a student, one of my favorite students, like he used it on me. He literally used it on me. He was at a boot camp or whatever, or did a one-on-one, and all of a sudden, unexpected gift at an unexpected time. It goes a long way, all right? He got me like this bottle of Dom Perignon, and I knew I didn't know anything. I was broke at the time, but I understood it was an expensive bottle, and it was a nice gesture, and it worked. I was just like, bro, that's so nice. Let me take some time one-on-one with you and break shit down, blah, blah, blah. Now, granted, he could have paid thousands of dollars for this one-on-one, but instead he paid a few hundred, asked for nothing in return. But because it was such a nice gesture, I'm like, bro, you gave me it wasn't like a tip, but you gave me this like gift that was unexpected. I was like, I want to help you more. It's a natural instinct of reciprocation. We want to help people who do nice by us, right? But the backside, the flip side is if they can sense that you're giving value in a way where you're actually trying to take completely the wrong thing, a complete turnoff. If I sense he was doing it as a way of trying to buy my time, like here's some Dom Perignon, so now will you help me with da-da-da? It'd have been like, bro, like it's like you're feeling manipulated. So the way to do it is just make it part of who you are. You have to give value, really expecting nothing in return, not needing anything in return, not wanting anything in return. You're just doing it because you're trying to help them out and you understand that these guys are always giving value, never getting it. If that makes sense. So that's a huge one for these guys. Another one is always keep trying to find ways to build a rapport and commonalities with them. Talking like them, being chameleon. Same body language, same mannerisms, same verbiage. For example, if a guy's like from San Francisco and he's like, man, that's hella cool. I'm like, bro, that is so hella cool. You have no idea. Like, I'm just gonna use their kind of slang. It mirrors them. And you wanna find those commonalities. Something is in common. You're like, all right, what am I into that they're into? If nothing else, maybe you're single, they're single, you now know about women. You can teach them some cool dating shit you learned right here in Modern Flirting. Or better yet, you can give value if they're a single guy. Well, Joel's not saying he's married, but if they're a single guy, you can give value with the commonality that you're both single by finding a hot girl and throwing it at them. I met this promoter in Vegas and I tried buying him shots. He's like, bro, I got free drink tickets. I don't need it. I tried cracking jokes. He's like, man, he wasn't, all your jokes. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking to all these people. I'm like, fuck, what does this guy want? Eventually, I'm just like, what's your type of girl? What kind of girl are you into? He goes, oh, short, brunette, athletic types. Bingo. I walked off, didn't say anything. I just walked off, used the skills I know here to approach and attract women. I found his exact type, brought her over to him, and introduced him, hyped him up, and he got laid that night from a girl I introduced him to. And guess the next day, that text message I got was, bro, what you doing? We're going out again tonight. And this was a top promoter in Las Vegas who's like, I will roll out the red carpet. This will cost me thousands and thousands of dollars if I want to just pay my way with him to get me to his tables, club entry, all this shit. But because I gave value and got him laid with the commonality of that we're both into girls or whatever, using these skills here, he's like, no one does it. Guess what as a promoter, guess what he gets all the time? Where the girls at, bro? Where the girls at? Yo, get me a girl. I'm out. You're the promoter. Yo, what girls you know? You'll call some girls up. But instead of taking the value, no, you're the promoter. I want nothing from you. I know you know a lot of women. I know you get access to shit. I don't want any. I know you have drink tickets. I don't want them. Save them for your customers. I don't want the value that you have. I am not acknowledging your authority. I'm not acknowledging your value. I am never trying to take it from you. All I'm going to do is give it, and I'm leaving that night. I'm not going to ask for anything in return. I could have easily got him laid and be like, cool, man. All right, so now can you hook me up with... No, I just did it because I'm an awesome guy, and he recognized that. And so the very next day, he's like, bro, let's go out tonight. You're with me. You're my boy. That was awesome. All right? Like, this is the shit that high status guys don't typically get when they're out and about from other men.
Why couldn't he have, you said he was a promoter, right?
He could have. And that's how he usually gets girls. Pops the bottles, gets the tables, whatever. But to have it fall in his lap, his exact type of girl that he wants, because they're not cold approach masters, they're just high status guys. But to get his exact type of girl brought to him, spoon-fed to him, have him hyped up to her so that she was a guarantee to hook up with him because he's got some game and he is a high status guy, he's like, that's awesome. That's just awesome. He's like, that's amazing. Even me, if I could easily go and meet and attract a hot girl. But if any guy's like, hey man, here is this gorgeous hot girl, I've hyped you up, falling on your lap, exactly the type of girl that you're into. Holy shit, you're awesome. Are you kidding me? It always is. So it works. So here's how, if I were to meet, let's say Gary Vee, here's kind of the breakdown that would happen. I would never let him talk about entrepreneurship or business or marketing. Fuck that shit. Instead, I would talk about sports and him wanting to buy the Jets and football and his interests, right? I would act as his equal. I would not fanboy at him. I would be like, oh my God, it's Gary Vee. I would not be like, can I take a picture or a selfie? Fuck that shit. I'd be like, you're Gary, I'm Jarrett, it's all good, what's up? I would give value, never take, no business talk. Instead I go, what's going on your event? all right, this is your big event. Who's your most important client here? You go, this guy. I go, awesome. I'm gonna make sure he has a good time. I would take him out, use my strengths, make sure that guy gets laid, make sure that guy meets a girl, whatever. He tells Gary, yo, your boy Jared, I went out, by the way, best event ever. I met this awesome girl. The knowledge was cool too, but yo, this is my guy. And Gary would look at me and be like, oh shit, like he would know. I would give value to his event, wanting nothing in return. And of course, I would build rapport, commonalities, find something he's into, not about his authority, not talking about business, other shit. And because I made his event better by taking care of his most valuable client at that event, I would imagine he'd be like, look, I got a bunch of other networking masterminds I'm part of, other events I'm going to. You should come with me, bro. You're awesome. I'm like, all right, Gary, if you insist, fine. I got you. I got you. I'll help you out. And he's like, by the way, can we talk about your business? What do you got going? I'm like, all right, if you insist, sure. I guess I can tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. And now you can let them help you. And because now at this point, they want to give you value. You're not taking. They're like, it gets to the point where like, please let me hook you up. Let me help you. If they feel bad, they want to reciprocate. All right, best practices overall. Everyone in your social circle have inside jokes and have nicknames for each other. All right? When you have nicknames for each other, you got the inside jokes, you know you guys are friends, girls and guys, it works both. You just know that there's that camaraderie that only you get because you're inside the circle, you get that joke, inside joke. You also want multiple styles of hanging out. If all you do is hang out when you go to the club together, then that's your club friend. It's not your friend. If all you do is hang out when you go to salsa class, and that's your salsa friend. You want multiple dimensions. You want to see them in different environments, whether it's the daytime, nighttime, lunch, movies. You want to do multiple styles of hanging out, not just the same thing again and again and again.
Sid and I noticed though that what's called the people you meet in salsa class only ever wants to go out for salsa.
Then you're not building enough value. You're not finding the commonalities. You're not finding out. It goes back to what I was saying before. Every friendship has 3 key ingredients. You're providing them some kind of value. You're building rapport with them. They just like you. You're fun. You're making them laugh. They just get a good feeling being around you. And number 3, you're finding commonalities. Now, in this case, obviously, the salsa is a commonality. We have that in common. Find something else. What do they like? If they like, for example, I'm talking to Sarah in my salsa class who loves to cook, I might say, hey, I found this cool cooking class we should go to. We should try sometime. I found this place where we can come up with these cooking experiments. I know she likes this, right? The problem in this case that you're telling me is you're assuming the only thing these people at salsa class like is salsa. The only thing in the world that these people like is salsa. Anything else other than salsa, fuck that shit. If it ain't salsa, they ain't doing it.
Okay, it's not that they ain't doing it, but I guess we just never got the impression that they would be willing to share or whatnot that with us.
Then you're not really building enough rapport. If you build enough rapport with them and you ask them the right questions to find out what else you're interested in, that's where you connect the dots and now you know. For example, you brought up Sid, I know his container event, one of the things he does is karaoke. He loves to have his karaoke event, right? The problem is if you have a pool of these people who like salsa, we know they like salsa, but if none of them like karaoke, you're not funneling them to a karaoke event because they don't like karaoke. I'm embarrassed, no, I can't sing, oh my God, bad voice, blah, 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 right? That's gonna happen. So remember, before you start doing container events, you wanna break into other people's events. So if you're gonna befriend anyone, what do they have in common with you? What else do they like? Can you build rapport with them? Can you be likable with them? And are you giving value? When I say giving value, are you improving their day in some way, shape, or form? You're just making their day better. Something about, you're hooking them up with a value connector or something. You're making their day, you're making their life better in some way. Also, best practice, keep it positive. I get it, you had a bad day, you had a bad week, you had a bad life, whatever, no one wants to hear about it. Other than your therapist, no one wants to hear about it, no one wants to hear about it. You have 2 people who will ever listen to your problems and it'll be okay. Your therapist, 3 people, your therapist, your mom, and maybe your very best friend. That's it. Your therapist slash coach and mentor, your mom, and maybe your best friend in the world. Outside of that, nobody wants your negativity. Nobody. All right? Maybe your wife, maybe. And even then, choose your battles, okay? For the most part, best practice, just keep it positive.
In my experience,
All right?
the last person you want to tell your problems is your wife.
So, okay, I said mom, your coach / therapist, and maybe your best friend in the world. But the point is, keep it positive, keep it positive, keep it positive. This is going to keep the good friendships going, all right? Not to say that we're all, obviously we all have our bad days and whatnot, but you have to find different outlets versus telling everybody else about your problems. Fix your problems, solve your problems, go get a therapist, whatever. Just understand, yes, every now and then it is okay to tell your friend about some shitty thing that happened. It's understandable. It happens here and there. But the vast majority of the time, it needs to be positive. It needs to be 95%, you're being positive, 5% is when you can share your negative. That's just best practices overall. Also, reels and GIFs are your best friends to do check-ins. You have your social circle, use Instagram, social media, send them a funny GIF, send them funny reels that you find, check in with them. It restarts conversation, it breathes fresh air into your social circle. You can maybe not talk to this person for 2 months, find a funny GIF, send it to them, it's A-okay. I just recently hung out with one of my best friends since kindergarten. This is a guy I've been friends with since kindergarten. The last time I saw him was probably, before this weekend, was probably almost a year, if not a year. 10 months to a year. Randomly reaches out, hey man, miss you buddy, what's up? And we could just message each other. But if he wasn't one of my best friends in kindergarten, he could send me a funny GIF or a reel. Yo, my God, it's hysterical. What have you been up to, by the way? What's going on, dude? Blah, blah, blah. It's just a built-in excuse to fuck around with each other. Best friends, all right? Also, best practices. This is my challenge to you and everybody watching. Say yes whenever possible. You ever see that show, the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? Now that goes to extreme crazy extent, but it really is a good practice. Oh, there's a class to take? Say yes. Oh, there's an opportunity? Say yes. Hey, you got invited to go out tonight? Just say yeah. I don't feel like going out. Just say fucking yes. Get in the mood, because the more you just say yes, nobody in the history of the world got better at anything, improved their life, improved their social life, or was any kind of betterment by saying no to things. Never in the history of the world have you seen someone level up by turning things down and saying no. Only by saying yes. You might not feel like it might be scary, there might be risk, I get it, but be okay failing, be okay in not working out sometimes, and realize you will live, you will survive, but understand saying no to opportunities and constantly saying no all the time, all it does is a steady, slow death and decline of having anything in your life. The more you say yes to things, the more people want to be around you, and the more life experiences you have, and the higher chance you will have of cultivating and developing a social circle.
Someone asked me to join them in like.
Gay sex? Say yes. No.
I would have to miss this though.
Well, now it's what do I say yes to, right? So if you have 2 opportunities, say yes, as long as you're saying yes to one of them, say yes to the best one that comes across your thing. If you have to say no because you're saying yes to something else, that's acceptable. But don't say no because it's like, I got nothing else going on, but I don't feel like it. No, say yes. All right? Now, in the description below, you're going to get some resources. You're going to get another social circle talk I have. Again, painstakingly showing you how to build a social circle from scratch, assuming you're in a city you know nobody. Also in the resource below is going to be an event on how to host events that people want to go to and making your events better and better and better. If you're watching this on YouTube, just click the link below. If you're in the program, they're in a resource library. That and a million other things are at your disposal to go through and take care of, okay? All right, that's it for social circle. Thank you, guys. Yay.